Today I'm going to make a shaker card. So there's lots of videos about shaker cards, but I wanted to make my shaker card rather elegant. This one that I've recently started using is called River Rock. 5 by 10 piece of that, because this is going to be a square card. So I've taken that and I've scored it at 5, so we get a base card of 5 by 5 on the textured River Rock. Then I have a piece of, you can use Poppy Parade, Cajun Crage, or in this case Cherry Cobbler for the next piece. You just want a color that's deep enough to contrast nice with the River Rock. And then the River Rock again at 3 1/4. And then finally 2 smaller pieces, Whisper White and an acetate clear at 3 1/8 inch. So these are the paper materials. The stamp set that I'm using is called Nature Walk. And I really love this stamp set. It's got a lot of potential. And so we're going to use this one today, especially this image and the bee. Okay, so I'm going to put everything away except for the white piece, and I'm going to ink up the D block with 2 markers. I have Marina Mist and Old Olive. So as you could see, this is a plant, so most of it, all the leaves are going to be Old Olive, and the plant itself is going to be the Marina Mist. And I wish I was as good at gardening as my friends are. I would be able to tell you exactly what kind of flower this is. So that was the Marina Mist on just the flowers, and then the Old Olive on the rest using the marker. And I'm going to stamp it a little bit at an angle because I want to leave room for greeting. So I'm stamping straight down and picking right back up, and then I have this effect. So I'm going to put a greeting here, so that's why it's kind of tilted on the side. Happy birthday has to show up over that other image. So you could lighten your green or you use a really dark black. So I'm just going to stamp that down. I've gotten so used to the clear mount that now when I'm stamping with wood, I'm worried if I get it on there right. So I think that's good enough. I've got the happy birthday. I rocked just a little bit, but it's fine. I think it kind of has character. Alright, so this is going to be behind the shaker, so this is going to be layered on top. So before we lay that on top, we're going to take some mounting tape and we're going to create a frame around the edges of this. And I'm just using some mounting tape that I bought at the store. And I'm just going to lay it next to there so I can see how long it needs to be. You can see I just took a whole big piece. Now if you had a thinner piece of this, that would be fine too. You just want it to be the same length. And since this is a square, I just need to put it against one side. Then you need to cut thin strips. So see, that's about 1/8 inch. And I'm going to lay that on the far edge of this. Okay? And you'll see why it matters that this is thin. So when I do the last one, it's got a little bit of overhang. So if you ever need to cut this, that's fine. Just cut it so that it really fits snug. So you want this to not have any entryway in here because we're going to put the shaker stuff in there, and it shouldn't have any way to get out between these borders. Okay, so at this point we're not going to remove the top tape. It's very important to do that last because otherwise you will go crazy trying to get beads off of your sticker part. So I'm going to use some beads, and I'm using some clear beads as my sticker, my shaker material. But in here you could put anything, you know, anything that will move when they shake it. And just put it in slowly. Don't put it in too quickly, especially if you're using fine beads like I am today. And I know there's a lot of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators out there saying to themselves, why isn't she using Stampin' Up! Beads? And I just didn't have any more left. So I used what I had. So now I'm going to take these stickies off. Now as you take these off, kind of hold it down so it stays flat, because if you pull and you don't hold it down a little bit, what will happen is the beads will pop up into the air and end up everywhere. So this is the hardest part, but once you get through it, if you follow my best practices, you'll be fine. Okay, so now my finger's going to stick a little bit, but I'm going to quickly, we're going to put a hole in this, otherwise we can't see through it. So I'm going to take my punch, my circle punch, and just punch a circle in the center of it. First I want to be as much center as I can. That looks great. And then I'm going to stick the acetate to the back of that. And basically I can do that by putting adhesive down into the corners other piece, because the sticky part is already taken up. Okay, so that. And I'm just going to lay that down on top of the white. And there you go. And there we are. That's the shaker. This is really my focal point, the shaker piece. So I probably should have done this before, but I also wanted to put a little bee up here in the corner from the same. I'm just going to use the Marina Mist to put a little bee. So I put a little bee up in the corner so that he's taking up some of that space. If you want to, you can put a whole bunch of bees. You know, if it makes you happy to have more than one bee, have as many bees as you like. So I'm just going to have those 2 bees. We're almost done. So what's going to end up happening is it's going to be like this on the card. But I want to hook this up, this piece. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull out the Cuttlebug this time, just because of its size. And I'm going to show you how you can use the new frame folder with any size paper. So the first thing you do is you put your paper into the folder so that the top of the frame is centered and everything is great. Don't worry about the bottom in the folder. Then you run it through your sandwich. Okay. Then you move it down, sorry is the right way to put it, until the bottom has a border. But when you do that, you align, and you're not going to be able to see this, so but just align the embossed piece with what has already been embossed. And so I'm going to bring it closer so I can see. So now, just like you do when you punch, kind of an edge punch, I align these and this. So when I run it through this time, I'm only going to run this much through. I'm not going to run the whole thing through, just this much. So like 1 or 2 turns and back it up, take it back out. Don't bring it all the way through. You end up with a perfect border. So you could do that for any size piece. Double-sided tape. If you want to use more, you may. And check. Put this in the center of my square. Okay, then I'm going to take my stamping dimensionals and put 1 in each corner. And 1 in the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to open my card to make sure I know where the top of it is. And I'm going to line this right in the center. So if it's open, you can see that I'm aligning it right in the center of the frame. And basically there's your shaker card. Another thing I had done earlier is I had opened one of these sides, so it's up to you. Because it's the acetate that's protecting the beads from coming out, you can open that one side and you can tie a little piece of ribbon over there if you'd like to add some more color. So you can just kind of... Okay. And that's the card for today. I find it to be a really kind of an elegant shaker card. Have a good day. Thanks for coming.